Yawning is actually an ancient therapeutic practice that was consciously done by yogis in ancient India, and they were aware of the effects it had on the body, and science has now confirmed of its unique health boosting and brain boosting properties. Hello kindred longevity lifestyle designers, this is Zach, your seekers of longevity.com. I've been yawning a lot just because I'm thinking about it and was researching it before making this video. And as it turns out, and I've been aware of this for a while, but I wanted to sort of give the download on all the benefits of yawning. It is well known that yawning happens when you're tired and it can help wake you up. It increases a bit of oxygen, it's like taking a deep breath. But it also awakens and sort of balances certain parts of the brain. It actually does the equivalent of what several minutes of meditation can do in terms of rapidly increasing your ability to focus and stay concentrated. So it's a great thing if you find yourself getting tired, allowing yourself to do instead of trying to stifle it and hold it back. I mean, obviously you don't want to be doing that while giving a presentation or speech or a scenario that was perhaps a little more professional and you were up on stage. But if you're in an exercise class or you're in a meeting, it's fine to yawn. I mean, I yawn in all sorts of places, and I exaggerate it a little bit just to really give my jaw that stretch. It's really good for balancing sort of your bite. If you find you've had a long stressful day and you might find that your jaw actually doesn't totally line up, your teeth might be a little, I don't want to say crooked, but there's some sort of shift that occurs. You might have more tension on one side than the other, and it causes like an imbalance in your chewing, which in turn that can actually cause imbalances in your body in very subtle ways. So yawning actually can sort of balance out the tension on either side of the jaw and relieve tension in the jaw. It is known for its ability to boost the oxygen, like I mentioned. There's even been research that has shown that yawning is done at different times of the year, so different seasons in different amounts. And this is actually what the theory is that it helps cool off the brain. So in the summertime, people yawn more often when they're outdoors, if you can believe it, and less in the winter. If you're exerting yourself, you might yawn. I've personally found when I'm doing vigorous exercise, especially outside in the summer, I do have a tendency to want to yawn a lot after I've done like sprints, for instance. That's just something I've noticed that I fall into doing. And this makes sense. I don't understand the exact mechanics of it entirely, but you can always look up that research if you so desire. There's someone out there also named Bergstrom. Here's his name on the screen if you ever want to look up his work. He approaches it from a more mystical point of view. He is very well learned in various sciences as well, and he brings that into it, but he talks about sort of the ancient yogis who would practice yawning, literally on its own, and talked about how it would release certain gases that would get trapped inside the body. And he also talks about that being actually contributing a little bit to weight loss. So if you're overweight and wanting to lose some body fat, you could actually incorporate a bit of yawning into your lifestyle and see if that has an impact. I can't say whether or not I've actually experienced that or seen that happen in people, but I really like what Adam has to say on a number of things. So give it a try and let me know if you've had results with that. Most people are aware of the contagiousness of a yawn. If you see other people yawning, you often yawn in response. The exact reasons behind that aren't totally understood as well, so as you can kind of tell, the science of yawning is very limited in terms of really discovering what its purpose is. But we do know that when we yawn, we feel better, generally. And when we have other people around who yawn and we yawn afterwards, it's sort of, at least what's been compared in primates, is that there's a social bond that occurs there, which is sort of an acknowledgement of being on the same level as someone. We know that those who are more emotionally connected with each other tend to yawn off of each other's yawns in that contagious way more often as well. And this is also seen in people who are intimate, having that emotional connection. And in those scenarios, it actually can indicate sexual interest. And this can also be seen in not just long-term relationships, but also people in public who might be strangers who might be attracted to each other. They might actually be yawning to each other unconsciously as a way to almost say, look, I'm totally at ease around you. I'm not in a ready sort of mode. I don't think you're a threat. And the yawning really conveys that relaxation. So that can also mean you're open to socializing with them. It could mean sexual attraction. It could mean a whole wide variety of things. It can also simply just mean that you're wanting to wake up a bit and get that brain firing more efficiently and increase that focus if you're working in a cafe or something. So don't try to read too much into people's yawning. Maybe just pay attention to it, and when you see other people yawning around you, don't stifle your yawn or your impulse to yawn as a response to their yawn. And with that, let me know what you thought about this video in the comments below. Share your stories of yawning and the benefits you may or may not have experienced from it. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. And with that, take care and embrace life without limits.